Well, happy Wednesday, or whatever day you come and join us. So welcome to Midweek this week. We have some fun things today. I have a great friend here. Pastor Caleb is going to kind of bring us up to speed on all things Thrive, high school, cool, transformational, everything. And then also, I'm going to give you the kind of definitive, non-definitive, hopeful, generally clear expectations on masks, vaccinations, passports, and everything else that's coming up in the last 7 days. So you can look forward to that one because it'll probably change by the time I give it, and that's in about 5 minutes. Caleb, welcome. Glad you're here.
Good to be here, always.
Oh, man. So we were just talking. It's like this is the second week in a row. One of my guests is sporting a really cool sweatshirt.
That's right.
So that's
Tapawingo.
Tapawingo?
Yeah.
You've been there before?
Yeah, every fall.
Yeah. And tell me about the cool hat. That's really...
Yeah,
PNW?
just rep in the Northwest.
Yeah?
You know?
Where'd you get that?
My wife gifted it to me. So,
really?
Yep. She's usually the best one to find those things for me.
Nice. Well, we're here. Got good trees.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to see if I can't have her gift me one.
There we go.
All right. Hey, Thrive and all the cool things. You just had a baccalaureate. For those English majors that didn't have a vocab called baccalaureate, what's a baccalaureate?
Baccalaureate, it's a special service we've been doing for years now where we get to honor our graduating seniors. And so for a lot of them, especially this year, where if they didn't have a ceremony, or for homeschool students where it really is a special time where they get to be on stage and celebrated, and there's a special element where the parents get to give a blessing, and that's always a highlight. Mm-hmm. So we got to hold that, and we had 13 on stage. Nice. We have more that weren't able to be there, but it was a great representation of the class of 21.
So approximately how many do we have that are graduating out, kind of moving up to, school, to work, a variety of different things that they're doing? How many? I think it was 18, 19?
Yeah, we're up there. And baccalaureate was for our Thrive students, but I also, for the other things coming up, we try to make sure we get those that haven't been able to be a part of Thrive or attend our church, homeschool, those ones. So that's probably closer to lower 20s as far as that we'll be sending into the next stage of life.
Heading up to YAM or heading to college or heading to schooling of some kind.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? Mm-hmm. Can you remember back when you were 18?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what was said at my graduation, but...
Yeah. You know what I remember? To Mrs. Henry, I said, "Adios, Mrs. Henry." She was my English teacher. We had a love-hate relationship, much stronger probably on the hate than love. But she also went to my mom, where my mom worked at the dentist, and so it was kind of like a downside. Mrs. Henry always could go in and have a root canal and tell my mom what kind of phenomenal English student I was, or not. Yeah. I told her, I especially went to her and said, "Mrs. Henry, it's been fun, but I'm so glad to leave." It was great.
That's why we did have multiple students express when they were interviewed their excitement for freedom. But when some parents got up later, they also expressed their excitement for freedom. So we had a great kind of back and forth.
That is so good. Yeah, you can just hear it. Freedom! Yep. Well, coming up, we have a lot of graduates. And we did something last year we kind of want to revisit in maybe a little different way, but kind of similar. Mm-hmm. And that is a way for our church to really partner with you and parents and bless. Yeah. It's kind of another level and form of blessing.
Absolutely.
So last year was really, really powerful. People wrote notes to each of them. And so we're going to do that again this year. So for all of the folks here and their friends that want to participate in that, what does it look like? What are we going to do this year? Yeah,
so you've probably heard of Adopt a Graduate program. So it's something along that but it turns more into a card shower, where last year a lot of you brought cards to me. Then I was able to bless each grad with a stack of cards. Some of those had coffee cards in them and verses of encouragement and prayers, and just where they got to see that their church loved them. And I think that's the biggest impact that we can have to help them see beyond. Sometimes we get stuck in our little groups of youth group or whatever it may be. And so over the next 2 weekends, we're going to have a tent out front of the CLC, and we're going to have hopefully a lot of you come by where we'll have a name of a graduate, and some of that you can take those that you know and want to bless. but we're going to try to make sure that we get a good representation for each student, and we'll give you a stamp, and then you'll just mail whatever card you get them, and they'll be getting stuff in the mail, because who doesn't love getting stuff in the mail? It's not a bill or a...
So
they
this
don't know
year's
that quite
a little
yet,
different. They're not going to pass it to you, and you're going to give them. They're going to take one and they're going to mail it, and so these students get showered these cards and prayers and scripture and coffee cards and I think a gift certificate to Ace Hardware is about as moving as they come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's going to be good. And when's your table going to be out? This weekend?
It'll be the following this weekend, and the next 2 Sundays, so in between the services.
This weekend and Memorial Day weekend are the 2 weekends if you come to church. Now, streaming folks, that it's like, hey, it's not safe for me, whatever the reason, but they want to participate. How do people that maybe are going to be on vacation for 2 weeks, how do they get involved if they want to?
Great question. Contact me. My email, Caleb at FBC Salem, or call the office, get a hold of me, and I will get a name or whatever. If you want 5, if you want 10, we've had some take the whole class. And so if you want those, let me know, and I'll give you all the information you need if you can't be here in person. So we'd love all to participate.
All right. Good deal. This summer, what are you looking forward to? June's going to come. Your discipleship ministry and partner with parents and students doesn't stop. You got some big things coming up. What are you looking forward to this summer?
Oh man, we're looking forward. The biggest thing is that H2O is back. We get to Triangle Lake, go there all together, and that's always, again, at the baccalaureate, almost every one of them expressed memories from H2O, the camp. And so that's a big thing we're looking forward to, being able to bring back. In August, we typically take time off, but we already have some events scheduled to go bowling. We have another lake day, some hiking, some things where they just get to be together, but it might not be in the church setting where they get to be, where we see some of our families step up and a lot of the fellowship that happens during busy summers, but where we get to be together and still see that connection relationally.
Good. Thanks, Caleb, for your investment in our church.
Absolutely.
Man, you're a good man.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. All right. Let me finish just with a couple of things coming up. Last week, we were all shocked. Everyone was shocked. The news was shocked. OSHA was shocked. At least that's what they tell me. Our governor kind of made a shift. CDC came out and said, hey, if you've been vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, and you can go and boldly go where no person has gone before without a mask. Then there comes the issue as it begins to unfold over the weekend, I should say, where there was kind of 2 things that came out. Yes, if you've been vaccinated, you can go anywhere you want. That's true of faith venues. Faith venues have been, since the lawsuit, as you well know, kind of under a different banner, and that is recommendations. And so we've still tried to honor and move forward at a pace that you're comfortable with, that is safe and that honors people. Certainly have not made everyone happy. That's just not going to be possible in this world anymore. But we're absolutely kind of taking a lot of feedback and moving forward at a pace that we think kind of fits our congregation. So what happens is we have a kind of a statement by our governor. We also have, if you remember, OSHA has this law on the books in terms of mandatory masks everywhere. I talked with some folks in those departments. We've read material from. And so I kind of wanted you to hear from us. And I've talked with our deacons, so it's not just my voice that is making these decisions. But as we move forward, what can I expect, or what's the church what's their new policy? So let me tell you kind of where we landed on all of that, given that, candidly, things are still, OSHA is really not sure how they relate to the governor's policy. And there's all kinds of stores, you heard them like I did, Starbucks and Costco, that aren't going to ask for the vaccination cards. And then there's the question is, are they legitimate and are they certified? We could get into all of that all day, and it's just so far beyond. We think it's better to just say, okay, where we're going to be at. When you come to church here on a weekend, Saturday or on a Sunday, and candidly, Monday through Friday, here's what you're going to find. 2 things. Number one, you're going to find that some people are going to wear masks. They're going to wear masks because they feel safer. They're going to wear masks because maybe it's a pollution issue. They're going to wear masks maybe because they discovered the mask really helps them with pollen. They're going to wear masks for a variety of reasons. And no one is going to go up to them and say, why are you still wearing a mask? Didn't you know? That's not what we're going to do. Some people are going to wear a mask, and we honor that and respect that. You're going to find when you come to church here, that is on a Saturday night, Sunday morning, Monday through Friday, that some people will not wear a mask. Why? Well, maybe some have been vaccinated. Some have had COVID and they've had their antibodies tested. And 2 of them that I've talked to, their antibodies are even higher than if they were vaccinated. Some are not wearing it because the doctor said it's not good for certain breathing issues that they have. Some are not wearing it out of a variety of convictions. And what you're not going to see happen is people going up and saying, why do you not care about life and why are you trying to kill people? We're just not going to go there. You're going to come to our church and you're going to find some people wear masks and we respect that, and some people don't wear masks and we understand that things are changing. What you're not going to find when you come to Salem First Baptist Church is you're not going to find anyone at the door saying, can you please show us your vaccination card? We're not going to do that. We're not going to escort somebody out because they wear a mask, and we're not going to escort somebody out because they don't wear a mask. What you're going to find is that we will value people's decisions. We understand the news is sometimes confusing, and I just watched a 45-minute interview with a doctor that works for the state of Oregon yesterday, and candidly, after 45 minutes, I was more highly confused. This is a difficult subject. What you will find when you come to our church is no vaccination checks, but you will find people who are going to do our absolute level best to welcome you and to respect you and to love you. And we're thrilled to see you. What are we going to do? Number 1, we're going to honor people's choices, and we're going to respect that. Number 2, we're going to prepare a safe place that is, again, well cleaned, is sanitized, and is looking forward to your coming and worshiping with us. You're going to find that we're going to continue practicing some reduced seating. Remember back in the days when we could have 850 chairs in the sanctuary? We don't have that anymore. We're way down. We're actually at 360 right now, and they're spaced out. We're going to add a few more chairs, but we're still going to remain spaced to a large degree. We're not going back to the days of 700 people in one seating. So we're going to still practice some spacing. We're still going to do our best, absolute best, to love people, and we're going to do our best to sustain the unity of our church when we recognize in the larger sphere there is a whole lot of debate and division and things that are kind of tearing at unity. So as we move forward, this weekend when you come, you're going to see people with masks, you're going to see people without masks, so you're not going to see Pastor Mark at the door checking your vaccination card. I do have mine, and I'd be happy to compare mine with yours, and it's really cool, and it means nothing, but the reality is I'm not going to ask for it. We're just going to welcome you and be thrilled that you're here. As we move forward, we're going to still remain in 2 different locations on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock and at 10:45. Make sure you check those times because I'm going to change those in about 10 seconds. But when we get to June 12th and the 13th, things are going to change. 2 things are going to change on the 12th and the 13th of June. Number 1, at 9 o'clock, we're going to unify ourselves into one space in the sanctuary. And at 10:30, did you hear that? 10:30. We're going back to that. It's way too long to explain. It's just beneficial for children's ministry and a variety of things, worship teams. We're going to go back to 10:30. That doesn't happen until June 12th and 13th. And you will hear this announcement probably 20 times in the next 3 weeks. So on the weekend, Saturday night, it continues to be, if you kind of like space and you're not ready for the large crowd, Saturday night at 6 o'clock, it's just a little smaller crowd. perfect place for you. If you like medium size and you kind of like a more people but not packed, Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, that's your sweet spot. If you want to go to church and just have more people around you than you can imagine, probably Sunday at 10:45 for the next 3 weeks, and at 10:30 from that point on is your sweet cup of tea. So, there's some changes coming up. The next couple of weeks, this weekend, Pastor Tyler's going to preach. It's going to be out of 2 Peter, and it's going to set you on fire. Why? Because he's going to teach you how to spot a false teacher and how to protect your heart from it. It's going to be great. The following weekend, I'm back at it. It's the Memorial Day weekend. First weekend in June, we're going to be celebrating communion together. That's one of the big reasons why we didn't reunify, because the communion actually takes a lot more preparation when we start to move that back together again. That answers your question of, well, why didn't we just reunify right away? There's some reasons for it. And so we're going to be together. We're going to celebrate communion. We're going to have a time of celebration, and I look forward to that. And then on the 12th and the 13th, that's Envision Weekend. That's talking about where we're headed as a church to be the church for the city. And we're going to spell that out in ways that we haven't in the past, and it's going to be great. June and July predominantly, starting on the 12th and the 13th, we're going to reunify. We're going to be back to our original times of 9 o'clock and 10:30. And then when we hit August, we're out in the parking lot for the month of August. We're going to have a party. We're going to have a celebration. We're going to have all kinds of things. So it's going to be a full summer. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see you this weekend, live or stream. Have a great week. And remember, this weekend, let's participate, blessing our high school students. I love you. Take care.